Sippers, sippets. Welcome back to another episode of Pour Your Own Problems. I am your host, Mercy. And we're going to get into, is marriage slavery? Is getting married slavery? Well, let's hear what Leslie Jones, the comedian, had to say about marriage. Let's review.
Hey, boss, he ain't working.
Trad wife is what I'm asking.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and no.
Like making Oreos from scratch.
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a trad wife.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
That's so brave.
I don't know if it's brave or smart.
Yeah, it was definitely not smart, in my opinion. And, you know, subconsciously, I feel like I could understand his approach and what he was saying. And we don't know if she misinterpreted what he was saying. And maybe he was really telling her that he doesn't want her to be somebody's wife. And I think that comes into play of being overly protective of your child, of your daughter. Like, because I can understand this from this perspective. I want my daughter to be independent, be able to do a lot of things on her own. But I also do understand that I want her to be married. I want her to be successful in her relationships as well. I want her to understand that you don't let a man run over you, but also what it means to be a wife. Also. And it has to be a form of balance. Because what I often see these days is women that want to be ultimately dependent and want to do things for themselves. Granted, that's cool. But then you also want to be in a marriage or a relationship that is geared towards the man doing everything. Oftentimes what I see in this day and time is women that move or have had to move or live independently. And now you just see this mass exodus of women leaving their marriages, leaving their relationships for growth. But ultimately, growth, being independent, comes with a price. Then on the back end, you want a relationship, but ultimately, you can't have both. And if you do want both, it has to be a certain type of balance. And most of the time, that's what you don't see. So.
Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so really, that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come into my head.
Absolutely not. I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip.
And we're talking about regular people, right? We're not talking about these celebrities that have been engaging in hookup culture since the beginning of time. So we're not talking about famous people or celebrities, but we're talking about regular people. When in the last decade have men just wanted women to be triad wives, stay-at-home wives? I don't really see that. And I don't really think that men care like that, because women have made it a big deal to be a stay-at-home wife. But then you look and see that you want the perks of being a stay-at-home wife. Just like they say men want the perks of a stay-at-home wife, women, y'all do too. You want to be independent and work and do all these things and obtain all these things, obtain the world. But then you say you want a traditional man. Just like men say they want a traditional wife. At the end of the day, you can't have both. And you can see how her father telling her he don't want her to be somebody's wife. Then she's seen people that's been marriages end. So that plays into the psyche of what you already believe, and then you're hearing stories. Your dad already told you this, then you hearing these stories from these people divorces, but you haven't been married. You haven't you're hearing all these terrible examples of marriage. So I could see why she would say marriage is slavery. But you haven't seen healthy relationships. I just looked up, her mother and father passed away like a year apart or something like that, but they were married. And from what I was reviewing, they looked like they died when she was 33, right? So you had a representation of what a marriage looks like, because it looked like they stayed together until they passed away. But the mindset and I also feel like it has something to do with being attractive as well. I feel like that plays a part in this, because for the longest, as we can review now, she's dressing a certain way and wearing stuff a certain way, but for every time I've seen her in the past, it looked like she didn't care about her appearance. So I think a lot of that and this contributes to what she's ultimately saying. You was already told all your life, don't depend on a man. I don't want you to be married, from your father, which I think is quite insane, because who wants to live this life by themselves? Like, when we get down to the base level of it all, it's ultimately about what you want, and do you want to be by yourself for the rest of your life? Marriage is not this construct that people have in their imagination of being locked down. It's mighty funny that you can submit to your career, you can submit to who signs your paycheck, but then the person that you say you love or want to spend the rest of your life with, or you don't see no other person. Oh, now it's a contract. You can't fathom it. And I think that's quite utterly insane. But let's keep it going.
In a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't
get married.
No.
Okay.
Oh God, you are crazy.
How am I crazy?
You are crazy.
You're saying that marriage is
No, I don't believe in the marriage. No, I don't.
So you wouldn't get married?
No, and I don't think it's beneficial for a woman at all.
Universal Kids Resort is 7.
Y'all have COVID.
Mind you, you're listening to somebody that ain't never been married. You're listening to somebody that parent told them, father told them not to be married. So I hope people are listening and having context clues, because, like, I've been married, I've been divorced, but you can ask a lot of my fellas, a lot of the guys that I've been around, I still encourage marriage. All because that didn't work for me when I seen my young dudes back in the military, seeing my guys that were getting married, and look, they still married to this day. I would encourage them. I'm like, oh man, bro, I'm proud of you. Like, keep it going. And I had just went through a divorce. I still had hurt. I still had bitterness. I still was like confused about a whole lot of things, but I would never push that upon someone else. So understand, because I believe marriage is a beautiful thing. And regardless that I didn't get a chance, or we didn't, me and my ex-wife, we didn't get a chance to work work through whatever we needed to work on, I don't look at it as, you know, maybe at that time I did, but now I don't look at it as something that I wouldn't do again. Because I would definitely get married again. But like I stated, you can't so pay attention, please, to when people be talking. Because you've never been married. You've had great representation of marriage, obviously her mother and her father, but you've heard all these horror stories, and this is something that was embedded in your mind as a young person. So I think we gotta watch who we listening to when they say it. And two, and I gotta add this again, she's a celebrity. Most of us are regular people. So please pay attention and don't listen to foolishness when it's talking. Because I don't see, because it sounds like when she said that, all that laughing and giggling, sounds like you hurt. And it ultimately sounds like you want, it's really something that you really want for your life. But you've gone so long without having it. So I don't really buy that she don't believe in marriage and she wouldn't want to be married if somebody ultimately wanted to marry her. I don't believe it. I'm not buying that. I think that's hurt coming from her.
Everybody in you brought COVID to me. I have to shoot in Chicago.
I did not bring no goddamn COVID to you.
And yet everyone on your team is coughing blood. I'm in the movie Contagion. Coming up, as a straight woman, which do you give less about, male rights or gay rights?
Male rights.
Why?
Because them, they already got rights.
Would you say you hate men?
No, I don't hate men, but I am disappointed in them.
Why?
Because they're not stepping up to the plate. While we sat and grew and got our shit together, they sat on the couch and played their Sega Genesis.
What are you talking about?
They didn't try to grow. They didn't.
And this is what I see ultimately, always. Why do women expect men to grow in the manner that they grow in? I think this is the most foolish thing that I've been seeing lately. Women, ladies, we don't move or operate the way y'all operate and move. And when y'all be describing some of these guys and some of this hurt, it sound like y'all be dating bums. That's not our fault that y'all don't know how to pick and y'all date bums. So I'm trying to figure out, in her mind, whoever she's been dating, why your daddy didn't teach you how to date. Why your dad, he didn't want you to be married, but he didn't teach you how to be with a man, how to get with a man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all coming out here trying to learn all this on your own, and your father should have been a better representation of the man that he wanted you to be with. But look, you already said that your father didn't want you to be married. So you have what you have because of your father. Your father failed you.
They didn't try to grow. They didn't try to better themselves. We invented Oprah so we can get better.
Got it. We sat next to each other courtside at a basketball game where you were given a disciplinary card to act appropriately. What did the card say?
It says that you have to have some act right or they're going to throw you out.
What was the incident that prompted you to start getting this card?
Probably the way that I yell at the players and referees and then jump up and almost run on the court. Yeah.
Yes. And
you saw that, right?
No, I didn't want to put you on Front Street, but I did see you bark at a young man with an afro.
He was hot. And you knew that was well in my right to do that.
And so it's interesting as you talk about how men should do better and get better. You're barking at a young 24-year-old doing their job.
Absolutely.
No apologies to that.
None. I'm 58. I'm about to die. I should be able to do whatever I want.
And what's the logic there?
I'm 58 and I should be able to do what I want.
So if we could talk to camera, what can you do better to uplift the Black community and Black women
I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, succeeding, so they can be able to look at a Black woman that's succeeding.
Succeeding, but single, and you ultimately want a man. You can see it in your goddamn eyes. And this is what I be talking about. Y'all will talk about all these accolades, all these things that women have accomplished, rightfully so, and we cool with that. I think women really think that men, like real men, be intimidated or confused about that. No, we do not care. We still run this world. So we don't ultimately care about all that. But y'all do. And y'all seem to think that we care about y'all accolades in marriage. No, we care about what we care about when it comes down to the woman that we want and desire. At base level. We're not worried about all this stuff. So you can keep accomplishing everything, all this success, but ultimately, is that really what you want? And if you want a relationship, if you want marriage, it got to come with some type of form of balance. But so see, she can talk all this out the side of her neck, but then when you look at everything she's saying, no, she just want a man that really love her for her crassness, her sassiness, her loud barking mouth. She just wants somebody, and ain't nobody doing that. If you notice, look how she looked. Like, we can pull up a picture of how she's looked in the past versus now. Like, she's showing some type of beauty and attractiveness, right? But in previous years, just looking at her as a comedian, she didn't do that. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, what are you attracting? Because ultimately, I always state this, you are what you attract. And so from what I get from this whole interview, for this portion of the interview, is that you're mad at men. You should really be mad at your father because he didn't teach you how to be a wife. He told you not to be a wife. And you've been leading with your career and success, and now you're 58 and really don't have anything to show for it when it comes down to a relationship, because ultimately it sounds like that's what you want. And so what I want to encourage to women, like, what is it that you actually want in life? Do you want the success and the fame and all that, or do you actually want a relationship? And because this goes to priority. What do you find as a priority? But I digress. I don't believe that she believes that marriage is slavery. I ultimately don't believe that's what she believes. I believe she just ultimately hurt. But sippers, y'all tell me how y'all feel about this whole situation in the comments. Is marriage slavery? Is it just a contract, or is it a bond between a man and a woman under God? Y'all let me know what y'all feel in the comments. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It's your boy Mercy. I'm out.